Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines. New exchange lists XRP and Ripple ranked number 10. And somebody tell me what's going on here. Ripple's saying that the next 12 months are going to be transformational for crypto and half the world's population. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook for exclusive content. Right now, $889 billion market cap. We're off by 1.9%, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, Bitcoin 16,900 plus. Ethereum is $1,257 and change. We see Tether's market cap at 65 billion plus. We're keeping an eye on it. We got the alert going on, Tether alert. Yeah, we know it's not right. Something's not right there. 38 cents per XRP. That's not right either, because I'm looking for like 4 and 5 digits, ladies and gentlemen. If you could get that email out to anybody, I'd greatly appreciate it. But right now, this morning, we're at 38 cents. Good morning, everyone. I want to give you this reminder right here. Glint today at 4:30 p.m. GMT or 11:30 Eastern Time or 8:30 a.m. Pacific Time. There's a Glint webinar, and I encourage you to tune into it, Defending the Gold Premium and unpack Glint Pay's plans for 2023, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm telling you, you're going to love what they have to say. And while we're at it, I want to remind anybody who has not done it, I'm going to put a link underneath the video, Global Investor Conference. I'm going to be on a panel with Linda P. Jones, and it's going to be out of this world. The markets are a mess, and what do? You got to tune in. Click that link underneath the video and join us for that talk. That is going to be remarkable. December 6th through the 8th. Don't miss it. That is going to be something else. I'm telling you, some bright minds on that entire Global Investor Conference. You're not going to want to miss the things that they're going to share with everybody. CNBC says Bitcoin could plunge 70% to 5,000. Standard Chartered predicts impossible 2023 surprise. No surprise here, ladies and gentlemen. I've asked a question many, many times. What would the price of Bitcoin be if it wasn't traded in a speculative manner and it was only used to send money and payments back in Bitcoin back and forth from one another? That is the question. And I tell you, seeing this here reminds me of the gentleman from Guggenheimer Investment Group, I think it was, who said he saw a sub 8,000 Bitcoin. Now, this is the second time we've heard this kind of call for a very, very low Bitcoin price. This is going to get interesting in this market. And again, I start asking the question, this is why we have the Tether alert. Is Tether about to get some subpoenas because it's really the on and off ramp to this digital space? And more importantly, I've been asking the question to people, please talk me out of this. How in the world is USD Tether not a publicly advertised and sold counterfeit digital dollar? I'm asking for a friend. And isn't it true that a scenario of subpoenas going out to USD Tether and its cohorts would absolutely send the market in a spiral that FTX could only dream about, right? And I absolutely believe the FTX was absolutely planned. There's no question. And here's this guy here who's always towing the line for Wall Street. Don't believe me? Just take a listen.
A lot of that is the JP Morgan of this generation. Sam Bankman-Fried's FTX is slashing everybody's margin, and average fees per transaction across the industry had declined by 50%. A lot of that is the man, Sam Bankman-Fried. Thought he told a good story. It's kind of where I think most of the people are who watch us, and I think that Sam, whatever, don't even want to dignify his full name anymore, is just a con artist, and as is many of the people who talk.
Oh, it takes one to know one. This is Jim Cramer telling his audience that Sam Bankman-Fried, JP Morgan of this generation, now decides to jump ship because he realizes he can't continue to prop him up. Just like he did with Lehman Brothers days before it went under, and he was yelling at people not to leave. This guy is disgusting because he's walking lambs to slaughter. He talks Wall Street's book, and believe me, Sam Bankman-Fried is absolutely Wall Street's darling, the legacy firm's darling. That's where the free pass came from. That's why all the money was funneling into the political wallets, right? It is disgusting, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. And to add to that, look who's coming to town. Goldman Sachs is looking to spend tens of millions of dollars for investments in crypto firms whose valuations have been hit after the FTX bankruptcy. My goodness, you'd almost think this was planned. Here they come. The big legacy players buying up the space, pennies on the dollar, just like we've talked about ad nauseum. Ladies and gentlemen, something is coming so transformational for this space. It's going to make all of our head spins. I do believe that. And I think Ripple believes it too. We're going to look at that in a second. If you're asking me, it certainly appears or looks like the regulatory capture of the SEC and regulation by enforcement of the SEC and Gary Gensler is working like a champ, ladies and gentlemen. Because it has opened the door for Goldman Sachs to come in here and buy this space up pennies on the dollar. We've talked about this. When you start to see them come in and buy up this space, that's how you know crypto's not going away and they're going to run it. Over a decade, they've been watching their customers run across the street and buy the Bitcoin that they can't sell them. Well, you don't think that hasn't pissed them off all these years? Yeah. Sayada Swap lists XRP, says XRP is the most anticipated listing. The move comes from when the legal tussle between Ripple and the SEC is nearing its terminus. It says here, Sayada Swap disclosed the developments through its official Twitter handle. I read the article so you don't have to. That's basically what to glean from it. I'm curious as where the liquidity is going to come from on that. I do not know a thing about Sayada Swap. It is not an endorsement. Then there's this. It is right now December 6, 2022. For the thought exercise we're about to go on here, let's just call it 2023, can we? For fun. I'll give you it's 13 months, but let's just say it's 12. Shout out to Ian for this one too, and ProCoin News, my sponsor. If you're not following them and signed up for that newsletter, I don't know what you're doing. You're missing a lot of incredible reporting and news. But this is a number that we talked about when this came out. Ripple put this out, and I'm going to show it to you in a second. But if you remember, they said Ripple is about to tackle the $9 trillion CBDC market. Now, we know that they have a private ledger. We know all of this, right? And as of right now, Ripple XRP is the only solution that provides an out-of-box platform for the creation of CBDCs, which positions itself to be the solution that could dominate this growing market. What else do we know? We know that when it comes to mBridge, that's being one of the models tested with the BIS, the Central Bank of Central Banks, Bank of International Settlement, we know one of those mBridge testing models is in fact the XRP ledger and the XRP token, according to James Wallace, head of central bank engagement from Ripple also. But when I really think about what's coming here, this woman says it. We are getting ready to step outside of what is known as the spoken wheel method of transferring money. This is about to reach a new layer of interoperability. Now, sitting next to the lady speaking here, you're going to see in a second, is Marjan Delatine, who used to work at Ripple and Swift before that. Take a listen to this clip very quickly.
What we're talking about here, and Marjan used the word, is network. It's about creating more of an interconnected economic network, not only where we're adding new functionality in the form of being able to support digital currency, still providing the traditional type of banking services you or I would expect as citizens, but allowing for there to be a mutualization of workflow, the distributed ledger that the Marjan is referring to, a mutualization of workflow, and the ability for an economic web to be created, an interconnected economic network. And that's different from a hub and spoke model. It's now sort of elevating it to a level of interoperability and exchange that we don't see in traditional paper-based currencies, and is really bringing the digital security world and the digital currency world together.
It's really interesting to get your outlook there. And Marjan, is there anything you'd like to add there?
No, I think it's precisely creating the value of the RLN, as we call it, sorry, the Regulated Liability Network.
That's a big deal. Regulated liability networks. We covered it a couple weeks ago.
Solving for settlements. And precisely connecting and creating the value of the RLN, as we call it, sorry, the Regulated Liability Network, is solving for settlements. And precisely connecting at any end leg of any financial transaction is payments. You started from securities. And this tokenization is helping actually to connect the two legs. And this is obviously going to be a big shift.
Yeah. Watch this space, it's safe to say.
You better believe we are watching it, I can tell you. And all I can think about when they're talking about that is all the market infrastructure and all the years that Ripple has had their head down and their shoulder to the grindstone while we've watched meme coin and this shiny project, pump and dump, and all of these things happen around us, while we all just continue to move forward in the belief that Ripple is building not just, a digital asset to be used in the world, but I believe XRP is not just a digital asset, right? I believe XRP and the XRP ledger, really a decentralized exchange for the world, will become a part of the framework of the entire digital asset space. That's a much different thing than what a lot of people believe, but that's what I believe. And you know what Ripple believes? That in 1 year, essentially 13 months, give me the year, half the world's population is expected to use a digital wallet for transactions valued over $9 trillion annually. I'm going to ask this one more time. If half the world is going to have a digital wallet with $9 trillion moving through it 1 year from now, what in the hell is about to happen in 6 months, which is right about the time this case ends? And yes, I'm speculating, but I'm going to tell you something. It's a damn good question at my house, because if half the world's going to be on digital wallets in 1 year from now, somebody better start getting a digital wallet out here for everybody to even have, because we don't even hear about that yet. So something's coming, and it must be coming in a very big way. And I encourage all of us to understand that the CBDCs that are being built for the new digital payment rails and the new fourth industrial revolution are in fact a part of a great reset. No, I don't want it to be the WEF great reset. That much I can tell you. Write that down. But there is some kind of monetary reset coming, and I believe it does involve the transition from paper to digital money. Now, I'm looking at it from a wholesale back-end perspective because it's easier to close that loop than it is the retail loop. But Ripple says half the world's population will be using digital wallets for transactions with $9 trillion annually. So that ain't exactly right on my end. They're saying, no, half the retail world will be using a digital wallet with $9 trillion annually by 2024. It doesn't say in 2024, sometime. It says by 2024. Something very transformational has to happen in order for that to come true. That's what I know. Am I speculating? You better believe it, but I tell you something, that is one hell of a number, and I just can't get past it. So the next 6 months should be pretty remarkable, and the 6 months after that should be transformational. And remember, transformation is not change. Transformation is a change that doesn't ever go back. Eggrag Crypto says the XRP Gaussian channel here, in his opinion, TA is simply providing rational answers to price actions. The lower end of the Gaussian channel is performing as major resistance, as you can see in this diagram. In order to have a higher confirmation on price bullishness XRP, price has to penetrate the channel. This is a great illustration on the chart. And shout out to Eggrag Crypto for this. You can see where it got up in here and spiked back down. And we're seeing that is hitting its head on the bottom of this channel. But if we can get above that channel, it's open skies is what we're hearing here, right? And obviously you can see here, if you get above this white line inside of that channel, it looks like clear skies ahead. But you know what? It has to do those things before we can really have those conversations that get too excited. But that's where we are on this day. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. Check out all the links underneath the video, the great products and services I use each and every day. And by the way, the best learning curve for this moment in time right now is, in fact, the Digital Perspectives Mastermind group. If you haven't joined it, do it. It is the excellent investment into yourself. This group is remarkable, and I can brag about it because the benefits of this group are not just myself. It's the incredibly brilliant people and all the different benefits you have inside. Make sure you click the link and check that out. Digital Perspectives Mastermind group. I'll catch all of you on the next one.